cake is like, whoa. The texture's like, whoa. The taste is like, whoa. Sorry guys, I forgot y'all were still there. All right, so you're gonna see me begin the process of taking these infamous Lotus Biscoff cookies. Y'all, I tasted them. I had never tasted the Biscoff cookies, but I've seen so many people make these cakes and they talk about how good the cookies are, and I'm gonna tell you, I tasted the cookies and they are delicious, and I tasted the cookie butter as well, and the cookie butter is also really, really good. So we're just gonna take a few of the packs here. I'm not quite sure how many I want to use. As you can see, they come in packs of 2. So we're gonna start off with 8 because what I want to do is have enough to put in the center of the cake and then also have some for the garnish on top. And this is just my food processor. I got this on Amazon. So you can see what's happening. So I ended up using the full pack of the Biscoff cookies, and there are 14 cookies in the pack, and this is how much it yielded, okay? And I love using my food processor because it just gives it that nice, smooth consistency. Now, if you don't have a food processor, you could easily put these cookies in like a sandwich bag or like a gallon bag and just smash them. If you have a rolling pin, you can do it with that. But I love using my food processor. And what I'm gonna do with the cookies is that I'm going to do a layer of cake, and then I'm going to do a layer of the cookies in the center, and then do another layer of cake, sort of like if we were doing a honey bun cake. And then I'm going to leave some of the cookies for garnish on the top. Okay, so let's get into baking and preparing the rest of this cake. Inside of my mixing bowl, you see 3 sticks of salted butter. I have a full block of cream cheese. This just happens to be Philadelphia cream cheese. Sometimes I use Philadelphia cream cheese. Sometimes I use whatever store I've shopped at. I mean, whether it be Walmart, Harris Teeter, Food Lion. Side note, if you are counting calories, Philadelphia cream cheese does have 10 more calories in it per serving. It has 100 calories in it per serving as opposed to 90 and what I've noticed in most store-bought brands. But anyway, I just thought that was a nice tidbit to share. To this, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of Cream Bouquet. I'm also going to add some pure vanilla extract. I like a lot of vanilla, so I'm easily going to put in here probably at least a tablespoon. Let's just do a little bit more. That might be about 2 tablespoons. I like vanilla extract. If you don't want that much extract in your cake, certainly do not do that. I'm going to allow the butter and the cream cheese, which are both room temperature by the way, to mix for just a little bit. And then I have half a cup of the Biscoff cookie butter itself. This is my first time ever tasting the cookie butter or the cookies, and when I tell you, it is delicious. So I'm gonna allow this to blend for a little bit, and then I'm gonna put the half a cup of cookie butter in my mixing bowl before adding the sugar. So I guess all of the fats and whatever can get blended together first. And then I have 3 cups of sugar that we'll add in slowly, and in which we will blend until everything is smooth and creamy, and I'll show you what that looks like. That's my cookie butter going in. I'm gonna take some time and scrape down the side of the bowl before I actually add the sugar, because as you can see, there's, you know, just a little bit of my fat left on the side of the bowl, and I want to make sure that everything is well incorporated, my fattier ingredients. So I've scraped the side of the bowl, I have my 3 cups of sugar. And I said I was gonna add it slowly. That's about as slow as it's gonna get. And you want to blend this until it is whipped and light and fluffy. And I'll show you what that looks like at the end. I'm not gonna show you the whole process, but during this process, I am gonna stop and scrape down the side of my bowl at least 2 or 3 times. And this is gonna take anywhere from 8 to 12 minutes, but you have to watch your mixing bowl. This is a Cuisinart fitted with my whisk attachment, and my high setting is 12, okay? So I'm gonna blend this on a 12 until it's light, fluffy, stopping along the way to scrape down the side of the bowl, and I'll show you what that looks like at the end. I am done mixing the butter, cream cheese, and cookie butter together, and this is what the texture looks like. It is very smooth. It is very creamy. And we are ready to go. I don't hear any more of the sugar crystals. You want to mix until you cannot hear any more of the sugar. I'm just scraping the bottom of the mixing bowl here to make sure everything has been well incorporated. And now we are ready to add our eggs one at a time, okay? I have preheated my oven to 315 degrees, and I have 6, can you see that? I have 6 large eggs that are also room temperature that we will add in one at a time. So we'll add in our first egg. You probably won't see me add in all of the eggs. You just want to mix until the yolk has disappeared, which only takes a few seconds, mixing on medium speed. And I'm mixing out of 4. If more than 1 egg goes in at a time, that is perfectly all right. But this is the process that you do not want to overmix. And mixing the eggs, honestly, usually takes me less than a minute, because that's how serious I am about not overmixing at this point. When you're done with that, let's scrape the side of the bowl really quickly. And you want to make sure that you're scraping the side of the bowl all throughout the process. I have 3 cups of Swans Down cake flour. Swans Down comes pre-sifted. If you want to re-sift it, I've done that before, you can. You don't have to. I have added in a teaspoon of baking powder to this, and I did just add a sprinkle, and by sprinkle I do mean just a sprinkle of salt. And you're just going to add the flour in about a cup at a time, mixing on low, because we do not want to overmix. And I'm mixing this at a 2. Stop. Scrape down the side of the bowl. Let's add in the second cup of flour. See how quick that went? Mix on low speed. Mine is at a 2. Stop. Scrape down the side of the bowl. Notice how I can still see flour on top. I like to say that's my visual cue or my visual reminder to not overmix. Our last cup of flour. Mix on low. And I'm done. I will mix the rest by hand. All right, so here is my cake batter. Like I said, I'm gonna mix the rest by hand. Make sure you get to the bottom of the mixing bowl. to make sure everything is well incorporated. Y'all, if this cake tastes as good as it smells, I have been sleeping on these cookies. I have seen this recipe so many times on my social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, I mean everywhere. And I'm finally getting on the bandwagon, okay? So my cake has been mixed, the rest of it by hand. And I have my prepared bundt pan. This is my anniversary bundt pan. I have sprayed it with Pam baking spray. And as you can see, I have also thoroughly floured it. I just really like flouring pans, and it really keeps the cake from sticking, okay? If you don't have baking spray, you can use butter, you can use Crisco, you can use cooking spray, and then put your flour in there, and it's guaranteed that your cake will not stick for the most part, okay? So I'm gonna start off by putting one layer of the cake in, or half the layer, I should say. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. And then I have my cookies from earlier. And I'm gonna do, and I'm telling you, that food processor, guessing that's one little piece there that didn't completely break up. But the food processor gets things so smooth, and it just gives it that really nice consistency. And I'm gonna put the rest of the cake on top. What I will say with the cookie butter, the consistency of the cake, I guess, is a little more runny, I would say, or creamy. Creamy is a better baking term. Definitely a creamier consistency, as opposed to if I hadn't put it in there, it would be a lot more fluffy. And this yields a lot of batter, y'all. And I want to get my mixing bowl as clean as possible. I'm gonna get a knife to get the rest of this off of the spatula. All right, so let's even out the cake here. This is heavy. I'm going to tap the bottom and the edges to get out as many air bubbles as possible. And I'm gonna allow the cake to bake at 315 degrees, I'm sure for a full hour and a half, but I'll let you know exactly how long it takes, or how long it took when the cake comes out. All right, the cake is all out of the oven and it smells divine. I'm gonna allow her to cool for probably about 15 minutes or so before I flip it out. But y'all, look, I am so excited. Ooh, yay. All right, we love a clean bake. Okay, look at that. That's pretty. And you can see the brown, well, not brown sugar. You can see the cookie mix. You can see the cookies throughout the center. I think that's going to create an incredible texture and add a extra layer of flavor. But that looks really good. So I'm gonna let it cool just a little while longer, and then we will be prepared to glaze. It has been exactly an hour since I took the cake out of the oven, and it is almost completely cooled. And now we're gonna make our very simple glaze. Here I have 2 cups of powdered sugar or confectioner sugar. To that, I'm gonna add just a little bit of the Cream Bouquet. I'm also going to add some vanilla extract. I'm not measuring here. We'll say about a tablespoon of vanilla. We all know I love vanilla. Always shake your Cream Bouquet up first. About a teaspoon of that. Then I have milk that I'm just going to add in, a little at a time. And because I've done this so many times before, I know how to eyeball it and measure it more than a little bit at a time, because I just know. But if you're just making glaze for the first time, you definitely want to just add a tablespoon or 2 at a time before adding in more milk, because you can always add more milk in, but you can't take it out, okay? So, and as we can see here, it's thickening up, but definitely not a pourable consistency. So we're definitely going to add more milk to it. And eventually I am going to add some of the cookie butter to this, and we're going to have a cookie butter glaze. So let's add some more milk. And just like that, we have us a little simple glaze here. It doesn't take long, it doesn't take much. It doesn't require a stand or hand mixer. So now let's add in some cookie butter. So if I had to guess on the measurement, I'd say a little more than a tablespoon here. I'm gonna add that in. And I've never been a huge like peanut butter eater, but this here cookie butter is something different, y'all. Oh, you know what? I might not have to melt it. Seems like it's maybe because it's been sitting out for a while. But you see how easily that mixed into the glaze? I didn't have to melt it or anything. It just mixed right on in perfectly. Oh, wow. Well, that was easy. And that's a great consistency. And I don't think I want it any thinner. I think I like the consistency as it is. Okay, so let's get ready to glaze the cake. Y'all, I tasted it with a spoon separately. This is delicious. Oh yes. Bow chicka wow wow. Bow chicka wow wow. Excuse me. Ooh, that's gonna be good. Now I'm gonna take the rest of the cookies that you saw me use the food processor with earlier, and I'm going to garnish my cake. a lot of extra cookies left. I don't know why I thought I was gonna need so many, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with these extra cookies, but we'll find something to cook or put this in. And I'm gonna finish kind of playing with the cake a little bit with the cookies, and then we'll come back for the taste test. It's time to cut. And I'm gonna use a bigger plate this time because of all of the cookies. I just don't want cookies flying everywhere. So let's cut here. Boy, that knife is going through there so smoothly. Ooh wee. Okay, so there's the cake. That crust. Can you hear that crust? Let me turn it this way. Hear that crust? Ooh. Okay, y'all, it's time for the taste test. See? That nice crust. Look how moist that is. This is going to be delicious. Lord, please bless this cake that I am about to receive for the nourishment of my body. In your name, Christ Jesus, I pray, amen. Where should I begin? Whoa. Man, y'all better try this cake. Oh my gosh. The flavor on this is unbelievable. That cookie butter is coming through so nicely. Oh my gosh. And then of course in the center of the cake, I don't know if you all can see that right there, but where I put the layer of cookies in the center, OMG, look at that. Look at that. Absolutely delicious. And it's so moist. With some ice cold milk, excuse me, some Merc, as people call it, some ice cold vitamin D Merc. This crust is insane. The glaze, the everything is top tier. Just look at that. You know, I guess this is not a mukbang or anything like that, or an eating on camera type channel, but I mean, y'all. Okay, this is my last bite, because I'm gonna finish this with some milk. Not that it's dry or that it needs milk, but just some ice cold milk washing this down. And it is a cookie or biscuit, I think some people call it, but that's insane. That is so good. My cake is like, whoa. This glaze is like, whoa. This texture's like, whoa. And you're feeling it. So what you think of it? So what you think of it? Whoa, my love is like, whoa. My kiss is like, whoa. My touch is like, whoa. 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 Think of it. Whoa. My love is like, whoa. My kiss is like, whoa. My touch is like. This cake is like, whoa. The texture's like, whoa. The taste is like, whoa. Sorry guys, I forgot y'all were still there. For those of you who know that song reference, there are 2 songs with whoa in it that I love. One is by Maya and one is by Black Rob.
Bad chick uptown, she was had me messed up in the head, I mean.
You can put either one of them on and I'm gonna jam. Okay, let's stay on topic. This is about the cake. After you try Jesus, you need to try this recipe. It is insanely good. It's moist, it's rich. Take my word for it. Anybody who knows my flavor profile and what I like, honestly, it's not overly sweet. I mean, it's got 3 cups of flour, 3 cups of sugar in it, and you know, 2 cups of powdered sugar on top. But then I turn around and say it's not overly sweet. Okay, but you know what I'm saying. It's an amazing cake. Oh, let me get the cake so y'all can see it. Okay, so that's the inside. You know what, I should have done a better job of garnishing it or decorating it. I really wasn't even thinking about that. I don't know, but thumbnail. What if I were to drop this cake right now? Oh, I can't even think about it. Let me get this thumbnail out the way so I can put this cake down. Well, you all, we have come to the end of another video, and I thank you so much for spending just a little bit of your time here with me today. My name is Ashley Richardson, and I just really appreciate you just coming to the channel. Those of you who keep coming back and coming back, thank you so much for your views. Thank you for your comments. Don't forget to drop down below and add a comment. Throw me the thumbs up. Share the video. It definitely helps to push me through the algorithm. As of the last time I checked, I think I'm at 933 subscribers, and last week this time we were sitting at 905. So thank you to you all who just subscribed to the channel this week. I'm so appreciative. You know, we're trying to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. And I'm just happy that you guys are here. If you have come back and come back and come back and come back and you have not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit subscribe now. I'll wait. Okay, now that we have taken a pause for the cause and stopped so that you can hit that subscribe button, thank you for becoming a part of the family. I mean, if you keep coming back, we're pretty much in a committed relationship at this point. So thank you for the commitment. Those of you who have already subscribed, thank you for returning to the channel. Again, my name is Ashley Richardson. That's Miss Richardson to you if you are a student watching. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Bye.